Okay, so today we're going to be replacing a leaking tap. This is the Blanco cubic tap, which is installed in our kitchen. What we have here is the cold tap, which has been leaking from the bottom here. Put a lime scale and it leaks around here permanently. So yeah, they're quite expensive, these taps. So I bought the spare parts, the new cold, and I bought 2 new handles, just one manually because these ones are getting a little bit corroded. So the first thing we need to do, I've turned off the water anyway to the tap, it was isolated, is if you turn the taps on, in effect you'll release the cap where it's held on with an Allen key. So if you undo these, you probably have to find your movement most of the way or all the way, just so you can slide it off. And then quite often it's a bit of a wiggle to kind of remove this carefully without damaging the main part of the tap. But they're quite stiff sometimes, so do keep wiggling it on each side. Just try and get that removed. I'm going to try and stand the phone over here so I can video while I'm doing that. You don't want to damage it, there you go. So it comes off. There's a bit of water in there, so there you go. So here's the problem area. So we've got the replacement. And these will be quite hard. There's 2 areas on here. You've got the outer shroud, which I'll just check anyway to make sure that's tight and the water's not coming from in here. But ultimately the chances are it's coming from one of the seals in here, running through and then dripping down and causing the problem. So we're going to try and undo that now. Again, I'll stand this up, but it can be quite challenging to try and do these to nip them, because obviously the corrosion in there is going to cause some problems as well. So let's have a look. Let's get that on the right side. There we go. Once you get them started, this should be okay to unwind. Make sure a little bit of water might come out. Oh, there we go. We'll probably see the problem areas on. Oh yeah. You can see on there, it's all damaged on the seal, which is probably why it's starting to leak. But anyway, we'll give that a little wipe out, just clean it all out. It's quite a simple process. These taps are several £100, and this was about £13 as a spare part. So definitely worth it. Just check the O-ring to make sure it's okay and that the head turns all right. So that'd be the off position if I turn it backwards. And a simple job of winding that back in and nip it up. There we go, hold on to the block. Make sure it's done up. There we go. So that's that replaced. That is the off position, because I know if we turn the taps forward, just incidentally, because these are mixer taps, I've still got the hot tap running. I've only isolated the cold because they're mixing here after the block. So removing the cold, you don't need to drain down the hot system. You can just leave that active, or live as we call it, ready for the new part. So what I'm going to do now is I've got the new handles here. I'm guessing in this little bag is the new grub screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in a position as I know it's off, which is about here. Put the grub screw on and that should work. So I'm just going to get that done. We've got into the right position and done up the grub screw here. Here's the little cap for the bottom. We're going to drop it. Get that popped in there just to finish it off. It's quite a tight fit actually. I'll have to tap that in a second. Okay, so that's popped in there quite tight. One thing I didn't notice when I was fitting that one is that because the old one is a, actually I don't know if that's come out of the tap, this plastic piece here was inside the old one, and the new one, it's fitted in here, which is quite good because as you put it in, you can then align it correctly with the on-off position before you put the grub screw in, which makes it better. So I'm just going to place the other one, then we'll get the water tank placed and done up correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and turn on the mains. Just on the kitchen isolator down here, which is really helpful. And then what we should get is a working tap with no drips. Let's check it out. There we go, probably be some air in the system to start with. Just on the cold side, perfect. A nice design tap and no drips as previously. Okay, just make sure that's lined up correctly and the hot. Perfect. So let's run those both together to get the air out of the system. There we are. So most taps are the same. In terms of replacing the cartridge inside, it's generally the piece to go. People do spend a lot of money replacing their whole taps. But actually, if you look at the website for your tap manufacturer, quite often they'll give you exploded drawings and tell you the pieces that you need to buy. So number 16 here, which I purchased along with the kits 8. Pretty simple job for a DIY person, and obviously saves you getting that total repair. Probably cost me £28 rather than 300 plus for a new tap.